What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at Marvel's Scorpion from the Molten Man Build-A-Figure wave. But before I get into reviewing the figure, I want to talk a little bit about this character's background because I find it pretty interesting. So essentially what happens is Peter Parker's boss, J. Jonah Jameson, is trying to figure out how Peter's able to get all these crazy shots of Spider-Man. So he hires a private investigator named Matt Gargan to follow Peter around. But Matt Gargan doesn't stand a chance. Peter Spider's sense goes off, warning him every time the guy gets near, so he's able to elude him. Not one to give up easily, J. Jonah Jameson decides to work with the doctor, and they convince Matt Gargan to undergo this experimental treatment. And they chose the Scorpion because it's the natural enemy of the spider. So they inject him with this stuff, and he's able to beat Spider-Man a couple of times, but ultimately, the formula that they used pretty much makes Matt Gargan, aka the Scorpion, start to lose his mind and go crazy. And there's a whole host of storylines out there for Scorpion. At one point, he was even the host for Venom. And so, if you look at more modern takes on Scorpion, he has like mechanical claws and a big suit and all this stuff. And I think there's even been other people that take the name of Scorpion, but this figure is based on the introduction of Scorpion. So that's why it has kind of a retro feel to it, not a whole lot of Art Deco going on. One thing I did notice is that the box art does not match the figure. On the box art, they show a lot more of his face. You know, I wouldn't be surprised because the character's been around so long that he's had different looks, so this probably was a look for him at one point, but I just found it interesting that they had him with a different look on the box art. But with that said, let's go ahead and start taking a closer look at this figure. He has a metallic green sheen to him and some sculpting in the body, just basically lines cut through. There's a kind of a gunmetal gray, maybe, I guess would be the color for his boots, his shorts, and his gloves, and a little bit around his eyes, as well as the stinger on his tail. Okay, so the stinger itself can be removed from his back, although I don't know it's necessarily intended to be, because it's pretty tough to get it off, to be honest with you. But when you do get it off, this is what you'll see. So it's like a little kind of round ball joint in there, and then this fits on there pretty much like a backpack. So with the bendy wire, you're going to be able to get him into a variety of different poses. The bendy wire works well. The one thing that I'll say is if you're going to pose him standing up, you're going to have to account for the weight of the stinger, basically because of the backpack there. So what it does, it kind of alters the center of gravity for the character, so you're just going to have to account for that. Unless you're using some type of stand, then you don't have to worry about it. So in terms of articulation for the character, you get the torso swivel, you get waist swivel, double jointed knees, ankle pivot, you get boot swivel. You can get him looking up only about that far, and you can get him looking down about that much. So there's not a whole lot in the way of movement for the head, but you know, you can get him looking to the side. No swappable hands come with this figure, so he has this open hand here, and then he has the punching hand here. Both of those pivot. So moving into my final thoughts for this figure, I think they did a great job with it. I like the sheen on the green that they actually used. The stinger, I think, could have been a little bit more pointy. He's a pretty basic figure in terms of design, and using bendy wire is a plus. You know, we didn't end up with another tail like the Lizard Build-A-Figure that we had. This is the way to go. Use bendy wire, Hasbro, stick to that. So yeah, he's a welcome addition to add to Spider-Man's Row gallery. I'm happy to have him. I don't have any other version of Scorpion to compare him to. If there are any other ones out there, I'm assuming that Toy Biz probably made one back in the day. But I think he's worth picking up if you're a Spider-Man fan and you're looking to expand your Row gallery. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next video.